June 26, 2026. It's Friday night. You don't have a party to go to, and neither do we. It's a very terrible podcast with me, Jason.
And David.
And we are here, and we got our AV issues out of the way, because the best part about this show is we start fresh every single time. Everything gets broken down, everything gets put away, and then we recreate everything all over again just from scratch.
Well, speak for yourself. I don't clean.
Yeah. Could you imagine your house if you just left your stuff up all the time? Your wife would have she'd lose it. There'd be no way.
I did leave it up.
Did you really?
Yeah, it hasn't moved since we did the last
gosh.
episode.
Oh, no. I'm just blowing smoke out of my ass. Yeah, with mine, I have to take it all down every single time.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it at home, but David has a custom, very beautiful, like, barrel table that sits in front of the also very beautiful bourbon cabinet. So maybe you have to do like a tour one day and make a social media video of your exquisite furniture.
Got 2 stained bourbon barrels on top of a stained butcher block, and I determined that I'm not very good at staining because it took about 3 times to do it.
If you didn't tell anybody, they would never know. I mean, I got to see it in person, and it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
But, all right, so since you and I were together last, right? So we had, I don't even remember, it was episode 52, I guess, or whatever it is, that, you know, you came back and all that stuff. Same episode we always do. We play the music, we do the episode, we wrap it up, I package it, we make social media stuff, we send it off to YouTube, and all of a sudden, a new alert pops up on the computer. And it says, copyright infringement for the theme song. And I'm like, wait a minute, time out. What the hell? The theme music that we had, and it's been it's been a few years now. It's from a website that gives you free music called Pixabay. And it's just a little free computer, whatever the hell the song is. And we make it work. Never been an issue. There's a guy who, from the country of India, so when I say Indian, it's the country of India, he is in India making his own like music career. And in doing so, he is singing in a language that I do not understand. So like this copyright thing comes up on the screen, and it says, you have used the music of, throw in a bunch of consonants, because his name's not Bobby. And it says, you know, this is his song, and you've used it, and we have to let you know that you can't use his music. I'm like, this can't be. I'm tail spinning. I'm like, this has been our theme song for, years now. Ever since we got music, that's been our music, and it came from a free site. And I've had issues in the past where, like, the background of the commercials was free music, and then that got pegged. And now there's that, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to rename the show. I'm going to get fired. We don't get paid, and all this stuff. So I go and I find, pegged. Yeah, I found this guy's video. I felt horrible for having to counter his accusatory claims of copyright infringement. He's literally in what I can only imagine is a warehouse somewhere with a homemade green screen, and he's lip syncing like to music that is not anything you've ever heard in your life. And at the end, he just stops lip syncing, and you see him hitting buttons, and he's just playing sounds on like a keyboard. And some of the sounds that he plays is this theme song. And it starts playing it like he just grabbed a bunch of random sounds and threw them together, and he called it his music, and he puts it out. YouTube went, yeah, sounds legit, and said, no way, Spinner, you're not doing this. I couldn't believe it. What a pain in the ass. So after like a week of going back and forth with YouTube explaining, here's where I got it, here's where it came from, here's the link from the free website of the royalty-free music that we got it from, eventually they go and they dropped it. But I'm like, what in the hell? Have you ever had to deal with any of that stuff?
No. They didn't YouTube dropped the case.
Yeah, they did. And I was like, to me, it was open and shut. Clearly this guy, if you watch the video, he's literally just hitting buttons, and he's making random 30 seconds of each song he could find on free things to make a song with. And our things comes from a royalty-free website. It's allowed to be used, all that other happy stuff. And to be honest with you, it's a catchy little jingle. Now I'm gotten used to it. I don't want to ever change it. That's just the way we're going to do it because, as you know, and as the people at home might not know, I am a creature of habit.
So am I.
I think. I think when you and I go to a restaurant, we can almost order each other's meals because no matter how many years we've been hanging out, and no matter how many restaurants we go to, we only order the same 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, you're gonna order a pulled pork sandwich or shrimp Alfredo.
Yeah, that's it. And then when I'm feeling like big money, I'll order a steak, but it's only like a ribeye steak, and that's all I'm going to order. That's not usually not the case.
And a
Now I'm
Coors
back
Light.
I'm back to ham. I know. Well, now I'm on Mick Ultra, and that's what I'm missing here today. That's why we couldn't get the show off right. I don't have my beer in my hand. So yeah, I got to Mick Ultra now because I'm getting on in years, and I need less calories. So. I have, and I've earned more money, so I can now afford the eloquence that is Mick Ultra.
Is it eloquence?
I guess it's very fancy. His pinky's out. Low calories, high class.
Oh,
So,
I like
but I couldn't
Belgian
believe
wheat.
it. That was I uploaded the video. We did all that work, and all of a sudden this thing flags, and it's not a real issue for us. So let's go down this rabbit hole of what a copyright infringement means and does not mean, because I had to do research. One day, whenever this show gets picked up and we get paid and we start making money, then anything that has a copyright infringement on it will be disappeared off of YouTube forever. It just gets deleted and you can no longer use it. So
I thought you just couldn't monetize it.
that's basically what it is. Like, so if we ever got monetized, that we would not be able to have our own episodes with a theme song in it, and I'd have to go pay somebody to make a song or whatever, however that works. But we aren't there yet. So, and we've
I thought you could still publish it. You just couldn't make money off of it.
That's what I'm saying is, like, right now, even when I had the automated commercials, that we'd have the South Florida lift stations automated commercial, and that one, whatever reason, that background music now belongs now to someone else. So I can, if I play those commercials on these episodes, every one of these episodes gets flagged. And they said if you monetize, then it's gone. So I thought, well, that's garbage.
We don't have that problem.
Not yet. We're working our way to it. I did receive a really cool phone call the other day where one of the people who works in the EMS side called me up and said, "Hey, I just saw somebody wearing one of your T-shirts out in the store." And I went, "Really?" And then I was like, "Well, where were you? And what time was it? And what did this person look like? X, Y, Z." Come to find out, it's fine. It was Josh's daughter, Addison, that was on the episode when the Bella hosted, and all that. She got a T-shirt, and then she wore her T-shirt out in public supporting the brand. And she was actually saw by someone who then called me and said, "I see your T-shirt out in public." Every
Nice.
journey starts with a step, buddy.
Yeah, now you just got to create a street team and just give out a bunch of free shirts.
Oh, I know. Could you imagine? It's hard enough giving out free things nowadays. It's a pain in the butt. And then, like, with stickers and stuff, like, magnets are cool. Magnets, you can put them anywhere, and if people don't like them, they just peel them off. There's no damage done. Stickers, I don't love it because people will put them on there, and then, like, you go to the gas station, and there's always some ratchet ass looking half ripped off sticker of some rap guy's QR code that he's trying to get famous. I don't want to be that guy. And then, of course, if it works, good for him. But every time we go to the gas stations down here, they're always like covered in old, ripped up stickers and everything else. Yeah. And I don't think you're supposed to put magnets on gas pumps. At least
No, that attitude.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that was from last time. And since the last time, let's see if this works. Oh, didn't you hear the bells, David?
Sounds like an 80s drone.
Yes. The bells of death have rang their tones for one Alan Greenspan.
Yes.
Alan,
Well, we need to get a copyright infringement and just play Metallica, For Whom the Bells Toll.
I know. I can't imagine how much that would probably cost. Because those guys are probably not cheap.
Nope.
But yeah, Alan Greenspan passes away at 100 years old, and I'm starting to see a pattern here. Betty White, 100 years old. Alan Greenspan, 100 years old. I think if you're famous enough and you're important enough, you get to live to 100.
That's the cutoff?
I'd say so. Except for that one actress that I picked that apparently is never going to die. What the hell is her name there? My first pick of this year. Let's see. Karen Marsh Dahl. 106, probably 107 years old right now. Just said, no, I'm not going to die. Thanks for asking.
Did you publish the actual death pool list on the Facebook page?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was trying to look for it and I couldn't find it. Because every time somebody dies, I'm like, who got points?
Yeah, it was on all the social media, and then I printed it out and then printed it out and hung it up inside of one of my food cabinets here at the house. So every time we go and get cookies, we are reminded.
I'm sure Lori loves that.
Yeah. Oh, well then I was telling Bella how excited I was that how excited I was about me getting a point, and she's like, I don't even want to play this anymore. So I don't. I think next year we're gonna have to expand this into my my work colleagues. So,
Yeah, if they want to be on the show.
Yeah, a lot of them actually do. I don't know if they have anything good to say, but there's a lot of people who actually want to be on the show, and it'd be fine. I just don't like talking about work. That's my only thing. I mean, you can be on the show all you want, but just don't talk to me about work. I didn't want to talk about it when I'm there. Why would I want to talk about it when I'm off? So, let's see. Going back to
We're now tied 2 points, and you have 2 points, right?
Yes, we are tied
Spike
2-2.
on the mic has 1, but she doesn't want to participate.
Yeah, she's going to participate by proxy. Her list has already been made. So yeah, the funny part is if she wins, then she's going to be reluctant to have the belt.
I don't think so, because she cultivated the belt.
I know, right? It was her hard work that did it. I don't know.
So Alan Greenspan, he was the chairman of the Federal Reserve from 1987 to 2006.
Yes. Yeah. Quite a long career through different presidents, different political parties. He was pretty much, in my opinion, I think he was well respected all the way around. I mean, he was, when you can cross political parties and still be the guy that they want in charge of the money, that's saying something.
That position is a weird position, because if you look up the Federal Reserve, they're not politically affiliated. They're kind of like this quasi ghost, and I don't even know what the term would be. They're just some weird organization. Don't put this on a clip or it's going to sound really stupid.
There's going to be a red dot floating around your forehead here in a couple of days if you say the right stuff.
Yeah.
No, but it's like I said,
who governs the Federal Reserve?
I don't think anybody does.
That's where it creeps me
That's
out.
what it is. I think they control the banks. So if there was a world central bank, and I know there is supposed to be a world central bank, but I think for America that's it. They set the rates that the banks borrow the money, the interest rate that the banks borrow the money from, and then by controlling that interest rate, they control the speed of the market. So if it's going too fast, they can raise the rates and slow it down, and if it's not going fast enough, they can lower the rates and speed it up.
Yep, and they better do what Trump says.
Yeah, it is interesting how, and then because I don't even know who it is now, because it was Janet Yellen. She came back, at least the last time I checked. I mean, I got to.
There's a new guy. The last guy, him and Trump didn't get along. He got ousted, and now I believe there's a new secretary or treasury or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, Chairman, Federal Reserve Chairman Kevin Warsh. Never heard of him. Took oath May 22nd. Oh my gosh, he's brand new.
Yeah, he's super new.
And then succeeding former chair Jerome Powell, and then, oh my gosh, yeah, huh?
Jerome Powell and Trump didn't get along.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it was Janet Yellen last time I even gave a crap and checked, because she did a fair job her first turnaround. A couple other people came in. They brought her back, I think, for COVID, and then she was able to kind of piece everything back together from there. But it's a weird job, right? So,
yeah.
One that we're not going to get anytime soon, because we can barely understand how most of it works.
I'm sure they don't either.
The way that whoever the bank, they are the ones who tell they let the banks borrow the money, and then you borrow the money from the bank, and you're going to pay a higher interest rate than they're going to pay. That's all you need to know about that. Oh man.
Well, what about Mitch McConnell? Is he alive?
I don't know. You sent me a video the other day that says it's questionable. And what would be, I guess, is there any benefit to lying about it? So Mitch McConnell is very, very old and very, very sick.
He looks like a turtle.
and he looks like a human turtle, and he is just set in his ways. And to be fair, again, I don't even know. I don't keep up enough with him politically, but I know he is what's wrong with the system. There's no way you should be 40 years in the same spot. I don't care what town you live in. There's got to be somebody else that wants to give it a try. There's no way he's running unopposed.
There's got to be term limits.
Yeah, term limits is got to be a thing, and they just don't have it. He just parks his ass there, and and I guess
they're gonna load his carcass into that damn voting pool until his temperature gets below 98.6 degrees.
Yeah, they're gonna wheel him in like Walt Disney's head. They're just gonna put in a frozen box and let him come in and do what he does. But he'd been overly difficult, and then he had those episodes on like live television where he just freezes and he's just.
Well, he was having a mini stroke. He'd just be talking and he just locks up, vapor locks, and he can't continue talking. Much like me on this episode.
That's okay. Well, I said we have to get you some guaranteed lifetime health care, and then you'd feel better too. And I think that'd be the thing with term limits, right? Like, because if you have term limits and everybody who serves in those terms gets, say, like lifetime health care or whatever it is, does that incur a different cost too? I'm sure the cost, in my opinion, would be worth it, but does that incur a different level of cost?
Why does that person need to have lifetime health care if they're truly serving the government?
Yeah, but rules are made and enforced by the people it benefits most. That's all you need to know. So, I mean, I would imagine that's it. If you're in charge and you're making the rules, well, you're making your own rules. All right, I want free health care for life. And then there you go.
I think if we got rid of term limits and we got rid of, or enforced term limits and got rid of lobbying, 90% of our problems would go away.
Yeah. But how would you go about getting rid of lobbying? Because that is exactly how all the crap glues together, right?
It's punishable by death.
All right. Hey, this might be the start of your new political campaign. Vote David 2026.
Hey, I started a list. I don't have it in front of me, but I did start a list on how to fix the government. But it's never going to happen, so why continue it?
Yeah. It's funny is we have July 4th coming up next weekend, and it'll be America's 250th birthday. And I'm thinking to myself, do we make 350? Does America make it to 350 years?
I think it'll be a lot different. It'll look a lot different than it does now.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine, at 150, right, which would have been 1926. This place looked pretty much different too. But
yeah, it's gonna be wild the next 100 years.
Yeah. Well, then we would always say is that the greatest empire in the world was Rome, and that was 900 years, and I couldn't fathom 900 years of anything anymore.
All empires fall.
Absolutely, at some point or another. So yeah, we're sitting here at 250, and there's days I'm like, oof, we gonna make 350? We gonna make 300? I don't even know. This is Sparta 300. I'd have no idea if we were gonna get there. So, have you done any research? Because I can't find what I'm looking for when it comes to the new tax situation in Florida. That's going to be on the ballot in November.
Oh, about the house, like the no property tax?
Yeah. I saw Governor DeSantis put out a kind of like a boilerplate statement on social media a couple days ago, and I just feel like it's one of these things. When you get those bills on voting day, it's probably 78 pages, and you need to look more toward like page 65 to see where the dirty stuff is, because on its face, like everybody's going nuts. This is fantastic. This is great. I'm like, there's got to be something else. I don't know whether it's just a general mistrust of everything that's happened in the past, but there's got to be something else that we don't see coming.
I mean, I like the idea of not paying property tax, but my first thought is okay, what's going to go away if we get rid of that?
Right. And we've already started having those discussions down here. Like, they've already started making a list of things that are going away. We have a 311 service. You just pick up your phone and hit 311, and it connects you to over by City Hall. And there's a team of 3 people that just answer questions for you of like, hey, who do I need to talk to about this problem? Can you send me a street sweeper? I have an issue with a whatever it is, and they handle all that stuff, they are the first people that are going away. So,
Yeah, does libraries go away? Does, you know, trash collection go? We're going to need trash collection for a
yeah,
civilized society.
yeah.
So,
I think that to me is the thing, is like everybody's all for it until they realize that, no, now all of a sudden they're living in a shithole, and you don't want to live in a shithole. So what we have down here, which we've started to dip our toe in the water, which I think is where everyone's going to go, is they're just going to repackage it. So we have what we've always wanted was called a diversified tax base. So we have what's called the general fund. Right now, everybody puts into the general fund. All of the money sits in there, and everyone goes hungry, hungry hippos, and they all try to get their cut of the general fund money, and it gets divvied up. What they want to have is a diversified tax base where you're going to pay X dollars for fire, X dollars for police, X dollars for garbage, X dollars for city and water, and all these things, and they're all going to be fees. So instead of, you're not going to pay property tax, but you're going to pay fees. And I can almost bet that by the time you get done on your home calculator adding up all your fees, that your fees is probably going to cost more than the damn tax situation was in the first place.
yeah, DeSantis is a lame duck governor because he's on his way out.
He's done, right? So, and then they're all getting ready for his replacement. And like the way they were touting it, and then there was another, a third party, like social media, has nothing to do with the state of Florida, got on there and going, if you guys around the country need to look what Florida does. Florida has a balanced budget. Florida has a surplus. Florida's going to lower taxes. Florida's going to this. And I'm like, man, am I missing something? I'm not necessarily sure what balanced budget means, but I don't know if that's what my definition of what we are doing is, the same things. So,
Well, our country, the last time we had a balanced budget was when, was it Bill Clinton was in office?
yep. It was Bill Clinton and, oh, gosh darn it, who was the other heavyset gentleman that was on the other side? He was the, gosh darn, I was going to say Rush Limbaugh. He looks like Rush Limbaugh, but it wasn't Rush Limbaugh. Darn it. It was like Bill Clinton's nemesis. And like the first time they actually got together and they balanced the budget together, and it was awesome. Do you remember? I don't even know if you were even old enough to remember that. They got up in front of this little easel with a big piece of paper, and they just wrote a big 0 on the front of it. And they went, there you go. That's it. It's a perfectly balanced budget. And that happened.
No, I don't remember. I was probably in early high school when that happened.
Yeah.
So I was not worried about the balanced budget.
Yeah, I was
But now I
pretty impressed because I'd never heard of it before, and I haven't heard of it since. But yeah, to have the perfectly balanced budget, and to be fair, I don't, like I said, there's a lot of it I don't know, so I'm not going to sit here and be the expert of all experts when it comes to taxation and government spending and government funds. But I think there's got to be an answer that's somewhere in between don't pay any taxes and just spend all you want, right? There's got to be an answer that's somewhere in between. And it's just like your house, I mean, if you're spending more money than you're taking in, you just got to go back and figure out what you're going to cut. Or if, you're saving enough, I mean, or like the government, you're not supposed to save. I think that's the big to do. And
Yeah,
I know,
don't mind paying taxes on my house too much, because I'm getting services. I'm getting, the fire department, the police department, the trash. But I own the lot next to my house, and I have to pay taxes on that. But there's no services going to the lot unless it catches on fire. And if it does, who gives a shit?
yeah. Is the amount of tax you pay based on its assessed value?
Yes, but it's homesteaded. It's connected to my property because it's right next to it. So it is homesteaded.
Oh, you link them together.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. Because I see your point. Like if it's an empty lot, then it should be proportionately taxed to empty lot status, whatever the hell that would be. And if you're the one mowing it, there's really not a lot going on.
Oh, there's no mowing. It's a wooded lot.
Yeah. I mean, hypothetically. Say you cleared it.
Minus all the redneck trash I throw over there. You
Yeah,
don't want to be my neighbor.
Yeah, once again, I don't know what the right answer is. I just think it's somewhere in between the two answers. And to be fair, like I said, this whole taxation thing that they're going to be pitching in November really is just a reduction in assessed value or taxable assessed value. So 150 comes off the first year, 250 comes off the second year. So I mean, if you live in an older Florida home that doesn't have an assessed value of $250,000, then you don't have any part of that taxes. Now, there's still going to be school taxes. There's still going to be fees. There's still going to be everything else. But the meat
See,
and potatoes,
I don't have children. Why do I have to pay school taxes?
because schools exist. I think that's, because if you really think about it, especially in a place like Florida where there is a much lower populace of school children compared to the senior citizens, then you would just have completely underfunded schools. And as you know already from having a teacher in your home, they're not paid enough. So.
Yeah, that's debated. I'm going to get shot.
Yeah, right. You're going to get one of them. You're going to get a Disney knife to the neck.
They work like 12 days a year. She's on vacation now.
Oh, my gosh. Well, it's summer vacation. Of course she is.
Yeah. They get
where else is she supposed to be? There's no kids to teach.
Prepping. You should be like preparing for the next semester.
How does her district or how does she handle school supplies?
They have to pay for it all out of pocket.
See, that's garbage. I hate that. When Bella had a singular teacher, now that she's in high school, she has many teachers. But when
they won't even give them paper for the printer.
They're ridiculous. And then, see, that to me is part of the problem. And that's why everybody needs to pay more school tax, or at least pay the right amount of school tax. Because you can't do the job without supplies. There's not any job that any of us can do without the supplies.
I think if you're a breeder, you should pay for school tax.
Yeah. But what did we do? We used to do gift cards. So Bella would go in and figure out which store her teacher liked, whether it was Target or Walmart or wherever she did, or maybe sometimes the years we did Amazon, and went, hey, here's $50. And then like all the parents would get together and each one gives $50, and that would cover most, and probably not all, but most of the lion's share of the supplies. But I don't understand how you don't, like, you look at a teacher who's already, in my opinion, underpaid, and then you make them go out and buy their own stuff. It boggles my mind.
Yeah, she's in a low-income district, so her students mug her when she goes to school.
Yeah.
They hold her down and take her debit card.
Take her lunch money. It's my lunch. Oh, no, I don't know. Once again, I don't know what the right answer is, but all I got to do is, when it comes to making any decision, and this is something I learned a long, long time ago, when you have to make a decision for 200 or 300 people, you find the one that pisses everyone else off just a little bit. Not too much, not too little, because if you get too much or too little, the scales will go like this. But if you piss everyone off just the right amount, and they all like bond together afterwards, they all hate you, but by God, they all are going to get along better themselves. And at the end of the day, that's all you can hope.
Yeah, the teachers, they have a union, but it feels like the union doesn't really do anything.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of sucks.
Yeah, and they're contract employees, right?
Yeah, I think every year if they don't fire you, they just non-renew your contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a pissy way of getting rid of people.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing with us down here is like we have a contract. It's usually a 3-year deal. And then it sets the wages, hours, terms, and conditions for those 3 years. So on like year 2, you get ready to go back in and start negotiating the next one.
But theirs is every year. Every year it's anxiety on if you got a job.
That sucks.
If you're going to stay in the same grade.
Yeah.
If you're going to move. It's like every year I got to deal with the, secondhand anxiety of that.
Yeah. Right.
So, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of it I don't understand.
Speaking of taxes and the resources, I sent you pictures, but we had a fire like a mile and a half behind my damn house.
Fires. You had like 3 of them.
Yeah, there was 3 fires behind my house.
Yeah, you guys were cranking. I got in that morning after you sent me the pictures, and I'm like, hey, did we have to send anything up there? I guess we sent a couple trucks. That's all we had to do. And then we let you guys borrow a couple of crews for a day.
Well, thanks for not letting my house burn down.
You're welcome, I guess. I got no idea. I mean, and these are the things that another one that people don't think about, right? Because they get mad about these, we call them control burns, and you intentionally set fires throughout the year. And if you intentionally set them and you control where they burn, it burns all that under thatch and all the roughage up. And then that way, when lightning strikes it, you don't get the stuff that you had this week. So, yes, we're going to displace some coyotes and we're going to displace some animals in nature. But unfortunately, we're going to displace them with control burns. We're going to displace them with a bulldozer. It's going to come in and put in your next neighborhood that's right around the corner.
Yeah, and the fire's not going 100 miles an hour. They can skedaddle and move to the next neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, and they do. They really do. We've had a lot of it. We have conservation land down here. So conservation land, you really can't do much with. So even to do a control burn takes permits and paperwork and everything else. But there's times where, I said, that'll get rolling. And you look at it on a map and you got to make decisions. You're like, all right, you send me a bulldozer and I'm just going to make a big circle around it. And we just write off everything in the middle. And we let the fire work its way to the circle. And the circle is wide enough where it can't get around it. And then there you go. Fire's out.
What was the land that was behind my house on fire was a conservation land. So I wonder if that was part of it.
Yeah, they probably didn't even do any control burns ever on it, and it probably was just all thick and nasty. The pictures you sent me were really, they looked like a lot of work that day for whoever had to show up.
Yeah, first it started out with like 80 acres, then it was like 58 or 80, then it was 200, then it jumped to 800, then 1,000. And I was like, oh.
And then at the same time, you had fires going on in Okeechobee and down at Alligator Alley.
Yep, there was some fires on the other coast for sure.
Yeah,
but you didn't want to talk about work, so let's move on.
No, I didn't want to talk about work. You just messed up. We just messed it up. Well, I didn't participate because I don't have a brush truck. I have a boat, so that's my specialty. I'm the boat guy.
They just put you in a pond and let you spray the land.
I just go on the river. Yeah, they use my boat as a fire hydrant and for the islands. That is all that is.
This week I spent a lot of money and I bought some new, I don't have them yet, but I ordered some Meta sunglasses, some AI-enabled sunglasses. Yes, I did.
Oh, man. These are the ones you can talk to and it says, Meta, take a picture of this?
Yeah, or you could look at something and be like, Meta, what am I looking at? And then it tells you what you're looking at.
Oh, man. You are going to be in the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're AI's taking over, so I just have to you just got to lay back and let it happen.
I guess. And then, do you just put it in a special case when you don't want it to see you doing things that you don't want it to see? Yeah,
it's got a special case that actually is a charger. So you put the glasses back in the case, and I'd imagine I'll just keep my regular glasses in the case when I'm not using them, and then just swap them out.
Are these like a prescription glasses or just regular sunglasses?
You can just buy regular glasses, but I wear prescription glasses, so I ordered them. I went to the eye doctor and had them order them with the prescription lenses and all the transition and the UV bullshit and the whole shit shebang, and it was like $500.
Huh. It would. I got it. It's the same thing too. I'm a sucker for some technology, man. I think it would be cool, and then you're gonna get the tinfoil hat folks are gonna go, it's gonna steal your information, and I'm like, I don't care.
If you have a phone, they already got.
That's what I said. Did you watch all the nasty comments and stuff that we had on our thing about the cameras?
No, I post and ghost.
Oh, do you? Yeah. So we made the video, excuse me, where I was talking about the. You know the name. What's the name for those cameras?
The Ring?
Dang it. What's that? No, the ones in the street, the ones that read the license plates. There's a company name for them because now if you go on the company name, there's this cool guy. He's out there. He's dressed up as he looks like Heath Ledger. He's got the Joker makeup on and everything. He does the mannerisms. Quite a good actor. And he's like. And he goes, I know you don't want us to do anything with these cameras, but if you took a camera and you pointed a green laser at it, and I'm like, he's telling people how to break the cameras. I want to say Robin Egg or Robin something cameras or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but either way, there's this whole thing with the algorithm that's spitting me all these and I'm like, Jiminy Christmas. But people were pissed. You're part of the problem. I'm like, you have a cell phone. They already have your information. And then all you gotta do is go to this, people all hide behind screen names. So it freaks them out is when you go behind their screen name and you find their real name and then you use their real name in the comment, they shut right up. They're like, he's one of them.
Yeah.
They just leave.
I had that on TikTok one time. This lady thought she was so smart because she was talking about the devil, or not the Devil Rays, but the Tampa Bay Rays when their roof blew off. They were talking about mold or something, and I was like, okay, this is my ball game.
Yeah, mold. Yeah.
That's not a big deal. We can go in there and clean that up. And she's like, no, you can't do that. Blah blah blah. I was like, actually, here you go, you can do this. And she's like, what do you know? And then she figured out my name and then went and looked up my license, my mold
Nice.
license.
Yeah.
And she's like, your mold license is expired. And I was like, okay, but I don't work in the field, so what does it matter? But thanks for letting me know, and I renewed it right then. I
Yeah,
sent her
that, and you
that,
still know the answers to mold that she doesn't.
yeah, and she was like, she was giving me she was like she's holding it over my head like that she knew who I was, and she's like,
Yeah.
I got you. So I took her screen name and reverse engineered it and figured out that she goes online and she just messes with people and says she she says this is rage bait.
Yeah.
So I commented back to her. I was like, is this just rage bait? And then she deleted her account.
Yeah.
She had figured out that I reverse engineered and figured out who she was.
Yeah. Some people are just the worst. I just don't get it. I mean, to the point of I had this whole thing where my algorithm was completely screwed up. I don't even know if we talked about this in the last episode or not. I had to go in and I figured out how to fix an algorithm. And you literally just got to go in and just start intentionally watching what you think you want to see. And then the machine just takes over and just starts giving it to you. I mean, I got caught up in, excuse me, political garbage, angry comments, rage baits, just all this horrible, horrible stuff. And it was exhausting to get on social media. It was just crap. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. And I intentionally went in and I watched like just good videos and I made positive comments and I was like reinforcing and like just simple stuff like, oh, these people that run, I like watching people that run now. And now all of a sudden my whole algorithm just like the sky just cleared. And then all of a sudden everything was fine again. And I'm like, huh, you can fix this piece of crap. But yeah, I said that you can get into these things and it's like this quicksand of just angry hate garbage. And if you consume too much of it, it just ruins your whole day.
Oh yeah, they put you in an echo chamber of
Yeah.
negative bullshit.
Yeah,
But
it's
usually
not
on
fun.
Facebook or Instagram, there's like the three dots or the menu screen, and you could say not interested, and you can
Yes.
keep clicking that, and like you said, you can kind of reprogram your algorithm. So
Yep. And then every website, it's taking me so long to learn. And I know it's because I'm old, but, there's all the different social medias. You got the Facebook, right? That's how old I am. You got Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and you got all these different ones, and each one acts different. Each one has a different pattern to it. Each one has different things. A lot of the videos I make now, they don't even make sense. I'll just take a video of some like random field and I'll put words on it because I want to see what functions do what things. And people are like, why did you just make a video of a grass field? I went, it's because the way the words bounced on the screen, I wanted to try it. And that's the way I'm just experimenting now. And it's taking me absolutely forever to learn. And like Facebook's the easiest one because Facebook's for old people. At least that's what I've been told. Facebook's for old people. But OnlyFans has a Facebook page, which I just think is amazing. Is like, I guess because we only know OnlyFans for one thing, but apparently it's for regular people too. I didn't know that. But,
I think anybody can start a page, but
yeah,
But when Margaret down the road showing you her beehole for $20, I mean,
$20 is $20.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean-
that was interesting. I went, OnlyFans has their Facebook page. That's weird. And then I got through, and then like with a lot of the other social media stuff, like I figured out, and unfortunately, Dave, I got to break some honest truth to you. I think I figured out why we may never make it to big time.
Because we don't have titties.
There you go. You guessed it. We don't have boobs, and absolutely. So, like you'll go through and you'll scroll through and you'll scroll through, and just like the TikTok Live is a one thing too, right? TikTok Live, you go through and there's these people, and these women they're not models. They're not, and they'll wear their low cut shirts, and they're just pushing everything they got together, and they've got like 1,200 people watching. And there's nothing going on. They're literally like playing a quiz game, or they're just like, and I'm like, this isn't fun. Like we're interesting, fun people. Why the hell don't we have 1,200 people? This
'cause
sucks.
Margaret at the end of the road's going to wear her moo with a low cut inseam and friggin'
Yeah.
show off her milk cannons and gets more viewers than us.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair. I can't fight it. but it's it is the way the game is played, and I think that's one of our disadvantages that will hold us back, is that we do not have the right equipment to get that part of the job done.
As David Hill would say, they say she's retarded, but those titties ain't retarded.
That is an old comedian right there. David Tell. Without me having a beer, I have nothing to sip on. David Tell was on MTV.
I remember him from Comedy Central.
Maybe it was Comedy Central.
He had a show on Comedy Central,
yes.
Insomniac or something like that.
Yes, that's what it was. Yep, it was Comedy Central, because it was old enough where MTV was still around. But yeah, David Tell's Insomniac. Yeah, that was a good
I don't even
one.
remember what the show was about, but I remember liking him as a comedian, but I didn't really particularly like the show too much.
Yeah, well, because he couldn't do his regular act on that channel at the time.
No, because it wouldn't be on TV.
Right. The MTV, right? So MTV is gone the way we remember it. They had their last day. Did you see that?
No, I don't watch TV, so I guess that's
Yeah,
sad,
I don't really watch
maybe.
much either. It
I
came
don't
up
know.
on the news. Came up on the news ticker. MTV Europe was like the last MTV with music videos, and they decided to shut it down. And they had this big like ceremony where they played the first video on MTV in America when it was played. And I think it was 1982, 1983. Video killed the radio star. And as an homage to that, they went and played it one last time before they pulled the plug on that channel. And I guess it was, MTV Europe was the last of the traditional MTVs. There's still MTV over here, but it's all 16 and Pregnant and, The Real World and all the other shit shows.
Yeah, MTV went down the tubes with the reality TV bullshit, like the Road Rules and
Yeah. Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
They were taking the low-hanging fruit.
Who is the news guy?
Kurt Loder?
Kurt Loder.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Still
fun.
alive.
He is?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes
Kurt
me feel
Loder's still
better.
alive. Kennedy. Do you remember Kennedy? Kennedy
did he
showed
do-
up on my algorithm the other day.
Did he do like the spring break stuff?
Yeah. Short girl, dark hair, glasses. Yep. Yeah, I was like, oh my
Spring Break-
gosh, she's still
Or
alive.
not spring break, but MTV to me was Spring Break,
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead, TRL.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
in
TRL
music-
was huge.
In music videos.
There is a special on TRL. Like, it shows you how big the show got and how important it was. I think it's just on the internet. Like, if you go into YouTube and look it up, it's actually pretty good. It's like a half an hour to an hour show. And it's like the history of TRL and how it came in. Because they had a single host, too. It was like, he looked like Ryan Seacrest, but it wasn't. And, yeah, he became so powerful and popular that, like, that whole thing was out of control. And, like, they would have the big name stars and it would come down and block off a whole street in New York City. It was important at the time.
Yeah, TRL was amazing. I mean, it kind of shaped my childhood because my father wasn't the greatest in the world, so he just locked me in the room and turned it
Yeah.
on Friday nights. And then I would get scared when Michael Jackson Thriller would come on, and I had to
Yeah.
hide under the blankets. I was like,
And
this shit's
rightfully
scary.
so. Yeah, right. That guy was scary in real life. Headbangers Ball. Did you stay up late enough to watch that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because that was, what, 10
cool.
o'clock?
Yeah, I think that was late at night.
That was at 10 o'clock.
I wasn't allowed to stay up that late. But if I'd stay at my friend's house, we'd stay up and watch that and Beavis and Butthead.
Yes. And then at like 11 o'clock was Yo MTV Raps.
And then didn't they have Ren and Stimpy too? Or was,
Ren and Stimpy was Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Oh, that was late on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it was. Nick at Night.
Nick at Night.
Nick at Night. Yeah. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead was, I think my sister had sent me a picture where she just showed her son Beavis and Butthead now, because I guess that it made like a comeback sort of, but she was able to find the original Beavis and Buttheads. But if you remember from the original Beavis and Buttheads, you remember the neighbor was actually the Hank Hill character now for King of the Hill.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crossover voice actors in
Yep.
like the Family Guy, King of the Hill, MTV, all those different shows.
Bart Simpson is Nancy Cartwright. She's a woman who does Bart Simpson's voice.
Yeah, some
all
of those
these years.
voice actors and actresses, they do, tens and twenties different characters that everybody recognizes.
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder if that's going away with AI. Those bastards.
That's a really good question. I would if I had to guess, I would probably say yes. And unfortunately, I mean, a lot of the stuff you can still hear is kind of shitty AI, but yeah, it's coming. I mean, it's everywhere. You use it. Lori uses it at work. I used it the other day, just trying to figure out what we're gonna do about when my daughter starts to drive and which car she's getting and everything else. I put it all in AI. I said, "You tell me what to do, computer." I don't know.
Speaking of driving cars, I just traveled to Atlanta, and when I got there, I rented a Nissan Kicks, and that was the biggest pile of shit I've ever drove in my life.
Nissan Kicks, not endorsed by the Very Terrible Podcast.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing till I got there. They said I was going to get a Toyota Corolla, or because that's what Ashley has, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. That'll be cool. I'll just get in that and roll
Oh,
out.
you got
with
it,
that.
or similar.
Yeah, or similar, or comparable.
Yeah.
So I got that shitty ass Nissan Kicks, and I pulled out on the interstate, and there was traffic coming in Atlanta, and I floored that thing, and it didn't go nowhere. And I was like, Chuckles, I'm in danger.
Oh man. You seem to have done all right, and I'm not sure if I think we've talked about it on the show before. You and I are not big fans of flying, but you seem to have done really well.
No, I hate flying, but they make Xanax, so we take that before we fly,
Yeah.
and then you don't care if the plane crashes.
Oh, you seemed. I watched you the whole time from the comfort of my home on my cell phone with the flight radar app.
Yeah,
And,
flying to Atlanta was super easy because
Yeah.
Sarasota is a dream.
Yeah.
Like compared to Atlanta, Sarasota, it's almost like a joke. It's like a private airport with a couple other people in there. Then you get to Atlanta and you're like, what in the hell is going on in this place? On the way back, because I'm a psycho, I got there like 4 hours early because I had to return my rental car, and I was like, I'll just get to the airport super early, turn in my car, and I'll just open up my laptop and work while I'm at the airport and just. But I was talking to you when I was there. My terminal got changed 4 times since I got past security.
Oh wow.
So, and it was a 15-minute walk each time. I mean, I could have taken the underground subway, but I wasn't in a rush, and I kind of figured out the layout of the airport. The good thing about it is I got to walk around the airport so much I am now super familiar with the
I will be making phone calls as I will be visiting this airport next month.
Yeah. It's actually pretty cool in between the different terminals. They built out all these displays and such. I'm sure they've got billions of dollars in that airport. So it's kind of cool. And they have so many restaurants and food options there. I'm granted it's $1 billion to eat, but
Yeah. But you're there. I mean, you're stuck. They got you.
they got you. They got you.
And that's Delta's hub. So anytime you get on a Delta plane, you're going to take a quick stop in Atlanta and switch a plane and then get on somewhere else.
Correct. Yeah, almost every Delta flight goes straight to Atlanta, and then you're screwed, with Atlanta. But
you seem to have done all right.
yeah, I didn't freak. The first takeoff was, a little. I was like, okay, this is kind of sucks. But I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing.
You're right. I mean, that is exactly that's what I'm thinking about. I got myself a pretty kick-ass window seat on the exit row. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have a view, and I'm not going to have anybody right in front of me.
Yeah, the first flight I flew in the middle, which kind of sucked. Second time I had an aisle seat, and I had this older lady that was flying with her daughters, and me and her were kind of talking. I think her daughters were pretty drunk. So there was the World Cup going on, so everybody was at the airport partying for the World Cup, and there was some sort of concert going on in New York, and we were right next to this terminal that was going to New York. So everybody was having a grand old time.
Nice.
I think it was Friday, too, so I think everybody was kind of cutting a rug. And they were coming down to Florida to get an Airbnb for the weekend to hang out in Sarasota. So it was like,
Oh, bougie.
yeah, bougie, folks.
Oh, man. Money on a whole different level.
And when I got off the flight and was driving down I-75, I got to see the Georgia police escorting the South African World Cup team as if they were traveling with the Pope himself
Oh
and
yeah.
cutting everybody off and threatening them with violence. And
Oh
it
yeah.
was quite entertaining.
Yeah, there's a lot of money behind that if you haven't figured that out. So, yeah, they want to keep those people safe and happy. And, you know, I've been watching a lot of it. I'm not a soccer fan by any stretch of the imagination, but to watch all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, like you had saw with the transportation, the amenities, they bring their own food, they bring their own chefs, they bring their own everything. They're just, they're doing their own. They got it. So lots of money behind that operation.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling. There was like 20 cop cars, like 3 escort vehicles, the bus itself. And we were going down the interstate on I-75, and I was like, okay, they're going straight. I'm getting off on this off ramp, and then somehow we both merged back to the same place together.
Ugh.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But Atlanta traffic doesn't make any sense to me, anyways. They like to merge people on, like they have on ramps at the same place you have off ramps.
Oh.
So you got traffic trying to come
They're
onto.
doing one of these things.
Yeah, it's almost as goofy as in Boston. They have like these they call them like boot turns, or I'm sure the tens of fans we have are going to get super
They're going to
irritated
correct
that
the hell out of you.
I got the terminology wrong, but they got some goofy ass boot U turns or something, bootleg turns, and they're like, "That's not what it's called, you stupid son of a bitch."
Exactly what's going to happen. Oh man. Well, we have diverging diamonds down here. I don't know if you have any of those up where you are yet.
That's up in University Parkway in Sarasota. They've got a diverging diamond, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. Have you gone through it yet?
Yes, it's like driving with the Blue Angels.
I sat there and I went, there's some college kid that drew this on paper as a joke and they just went with it, man. I mean, you're literally, there's one point in the one in Fort Myers where you're on the wrong side of the road.
Yep.
Like you're on the left side of the road and you see everybody else on the right side of it. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this? And yeah, it's a whole thing. But apparently and then they put intentional curves in it so you can't speed through it. And I'm like, all right, sure. Whatever, man. There's a lot of people and there's more coming. So, well, Dave, I got to tell you, it has been one hell. We're almost an hour in.
Yeah, we can keep rolling if you're good.
Yeah. What else we got here? We talked about AI, and then I think AI prompts and issues I had on my thing. I don't remember what the hell that was.
I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, I think. Are we going into the last week's list? We might be. Because I don't remember talking about Gene Deckerhoff retiring either, but to be fair, I don't remember many things anymore.
Our puppy Molly, she went and we thought she had, she was pissing blood, so we took her to the vet.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, she's got a UTI, so they did an x-ray to see she had kidney stones. So they did the x-ray, they're like, good news, she doesn't have kidney stones. But bad news, she's got a tumor on her spleen. So we're like, that's bad news.
That is bad news.
So Ashley was on vacation, so I waited for her to get back from Disney before I told her, because
That was smart. Yeah.
She would have freaked out.
Yeah.
So I waited for her to get back, and I'm like, Molly's got a tumor on her spleen, so we got to go get an ultrasound to schedule surgery. So we schedule this $700 ultrasound to have that done, only for them to tell us, yeah, she doesn't have a tumor. She's just a gassy gal.
But where'd the blood come from?
Well, the blood was just, irritation from her UTI. So she got amoxicillin or whatever. That cleared that out. So her UTI's gone, and she doesn't have a tumor. She's just a gassy bitch.
Yeah, to be fair, I'd spend $700 without even thinking about it to get good news and to not have a tumor.
Yeah, I'm not bitching about it too much. But like when they first told me, they're like, when do you want to do the surgery? I was like, right now.
Yeah.
Because the surgery was like $2,300.
Yeah.
And because I was like, I'll get the surgery done and have it done before Ashley even gets back, and she can't even bitch about it or worry about it.
Yeah, that's her baby.
So I was like, all right, well, I'll just get this done. And I was like, And they're like, when do you want to do the surgery? I was like, now. Cut her now. Take the spleen now. Well, thank God we waited because I would have just had them remove an organ for no reason.
Let's see. Without me looking at my phone, what does the spleen do?
Something with the blood production or blood maintenance or blood filtration or something along those lines.
Okay. It actually
But they said
like
it's not. I try not to, I do love me a rabbit hole from time and
Yeah.
again, but that was a rabbit hole that I was not going down. They're like, the spleen's not needed, you can take it out. I was like, all right, take it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like,
That's
right
one of those
now?
things-
I was like,
it's not
yeah.
like an appendix. Like the appendix is completely useless nowadays. So,
It was almost like they were trying to scare me. And they're like,
Yeah.
what, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, do it now. And they're like, what? And I was like, cut her, doc.
oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's hard. That's scary. Because, I mean, I don't know about I think you and I are on the same page that dogs are better than people. So,
For the most part. If you have a good
Yeah.
dog. I've had bad dogs. And I know people that have bad dogs. And like Molly hates people and she hates other pets, but she's the perfect dog for us.
yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
She doesn't go to the bathroom in the house. She doesn't chew anything up. If somebody comes in the house, she's gonna fucking bite them,
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
that's
at
what
least-
you need.
or at least pretend like she's gonna bite them because she's got
The domesticated house wolf. That's what I call mine.
Yeah.
Even though he's a little chihuahua. You're the house
Yeah.
wolf.
I think if they stomped at her, she'd probably run away. But she'd sound horrible for a
Yeah,
second.
exactly. And there's no one that's happier to see you when you get home.
Oh no! But the other day I came home and she was. I'm not sure where I went, but I left the house and I don't leave the house much. And I came home and I had the chirp of my people.
Mm-hmm.
The fire alarm was going off, or
Yeah.
the battery was.
Low battery. You're
Yeah.
supposed to change those every time you change the clocks, David.
Yeah. So, but she was freaky. Like she was shaking, like somebody had a gun to her head, and it was
Yeah.
just that little noise. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're this big bad pitty bull Rottweiler Chow Chow Lab mix. And
Yeah, but that little loud noise is loud to them. They got them sensitive ears.
yeah, she was like, fuck this place. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's. No, I get it. Even mine gets scared if there's thunder. I go, you've been here 9 years and you're still scared of the thunder. But yeah, thunder gets them, and the wind
yeah,
is
today
just
was-
too windy.
Today it was storming, and she was like, fuck this.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm the same way. I don't like the storms either.
I don't mind storms as long as they're not a hurricane. That's
Yeah.
over a category 2.
Yeah,
Category 2 and below, that's a thunderstorm.
yeah. Well, that and then you start getting into the extra workload for people when they get more bigger storms, because then you have to go and do extra work.
We get extra work now. It's almost like now it's just it's almost numb to it because it's just a constant issue somewhere because we're a coast to coast company.
Yeah.
Like right now, we had a bunch of tornadoes hit Indiana. My buddy that runs his franchise up there is, they've got 140 new. They could take as many jobs as they wanted.
Yeah. Huh.
And if it's not tornadoes, it's ice storms or ice dams or it's wildfires in California or hurricanes in the south.
Yeah.
There-
Yeah. You just got to pick whatever natural disaster you're okay with, and that's how you figure out where you're going to live.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that's another thing that was on my list is earthquakes.
Yeah.
My friend Paul is freaked out by these earthquakes, and I'm like, the earth always shakes, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens all the time. You just don't usually feel it. But that was it. Was it yesterday or the day before? There was 4 of them in the same day.
I think over the past 7 days, there's been like 7 major hurricanes, but they're all in like the Pacific,
Yeah.
rim of fire or whatever they call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it goes around, Asia, the west coast of America, up to Alaska, and across to Russia.
Yeah, we
which
had the ones
Russia is Asia.
well, last week was us with Cuba, which I was not paying attention. I was doing yard work, so I would not have heard it. But yeah, we had there was 2 or 3. There was the earthquake and then the 2 aftershocks, I think, out of Cuba that people in Florida could feel. But yeah, like I said, there's tectonic plates. It's what they do. They move.
Yeah, if you really think about it, it's kind of creepy. We're just chilling on a thin layer of solid ground on top of molten lava.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
floating.
we're floating along. doing our thing. I mean, that's why if you say you look at it on the map, though, that's why South America and Africa fit together like puzzle pieces. I mean, they used to be one big, and then they separate. And we won't be here for it, but eventually you got to imagine they're going to come all the way around and crush up into each other again.
Yeah, if we don't get smoked by a giant asteroid.
Yeah, that too. Or just, well, the sun is going to grow to such a size which it engulfs the Earth. We have that to look forward to as a people.
Yeah, we're not going to make it that long.
No. We've got maybe 50 years left, and then we're done. So.
Yeah, we've got nukes. We'll eliminate each other.
Yeah, where you said between chemical warfare, biological warfare, and just old-fashioned nuclear missiles, we're like one social media comment away from none of us being here anyway. So that's why you got to relax and just have some fun while you can, because it all ends up in the same place.
Yeah, there was one of the biggest ones was down in Venezuela, and
yeah,
we stole their president. Now they don't have a president.
Do you see how quick though we came up and the president said, he's like, "Hey, we're here. We're full support. This is what we're going to do. We're sending resources." Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, because they got all the oil.
Yeah,
we'll go help you now.
Yeah. Well, hey, but while we're here, we're gonna take some of that oil back with us. It's okay. You don't need it. Everything's all shaken up. It's got foamy tops on it.
Yeah, they're saying there's like 25,000 missing people, up to like maybe 100,000 missing. The range of people missing is very vast when it comes to the reporting.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure they're big on census over there. A census is something that we do, and I don't even think we do it well enough. But yeah, they're just guesstimating at that point. But I mean, it's complete devastation with no technology and no infrastructure to get it fixed anytime soon. So, we sat here and had our category 4.9/5 hurricane, and I'd say what do you think, 6 months we were back up and running?
Yeah, we're getting really good at hurricanes.
Yeah, it's scary good. Like they're gonna have to
I remember like during Charlie, the power was out for 3 or 4 weeks in places.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you have a real bad Ian was a lot worse than Charlie.
Yes.
Because Charlie came through, it was small and it was fast and just ripped through.
Yeah.
The house that I was staying at probably didn't get power for months.
Yeah, that was 2005.
And then with Ian, we got power back in, I think it was like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
I actually went out and bought a new generator.
All right.
A backup generator for my generator.
Very good. Money well spent. And because you did that, we're not going to get a storm this year. So thank you for your purchase.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's how that works. That's why I do it. I buy a shit ton of water, and I buy batteries, and I buy all this stuff, and I ran my generator. I test ran it already, and it keeps the storms away. I said that every time. I will gladly invest in Energizer batteries so I can keep hurricanes away from my house.
Please keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that shit anymore.
When people are like, oh, at work, people are always like, oh, we need a hurricane. I was like, the fuck we do?
Yeah.
You don't live in Florida.
I don't know about you, but yeah, we made a bunch of money working, but then I had to spend every penny of it back into the house to fix it back up. And that was after insurance. So yeah, that wasn't any fun. I could stand to never have to do that again.
Yeah, if I don't have to deal with Tesla and their solar bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll be good.
Here's one I found. They had said on the radio the other day. They talked about, Elon, a trillionaire, and all this other stuff, and people don't understand. Like, I guess you think you understand $1 trillion, but you really don't. So I can't remember. They said whatever Jeff Bezos's fortune is worth, however many billions of dollars that is. They said if you have $1 in your pocket or $1 to your name, you are closer to Jeff Bezos than Jeff Bezos is to Elon Musk. I'm like, holy crap. That's insane.
And what's even crazier is Elon's probably, like, on paper, he's the richest person, but then there's these, Russian oligarchs and
the Saudis and all that.
Saudi princes, and, they've got more money than he does. They just don't disclose it.
No, it's all hidden in places that they are never going to tell you about. But you don't have to go any far. You sit there and tinker around on these computers around here, and like we have a Lee County property appraiser, and then the north half of our city is pretty empty. But if you see corner lots that look nice or whatever it is, you want to find out who owns them. If you ever wanted to, you would be surprised the amount of Saudi Arabian addresses that come up in the north part of this city. I mean, just like the whole northwest corner is like this guy's name you can't pronounce, Saudi Arabia address, and I'm like, holy, I don't know if they're going to be sleeper cells for a later point, but yeah, they're in the area. They're right next to that old Nazi sub that's sunk outside of Pine Island, or wherever the hell that thing is.
I didn't know about that. That sounds...
Yeah. The Nazis in World War II were parked right on our coast. They were just parked there doing surveillance and doing all kinds of shit, and every once in a while they'd get caught.
That sounds fun.
So, yeah, because they didn't have the technology to see them, but they were here. But what's one sub going to do? Nothing besides take some notes and they'd send it back to Mother Germany there and let them know what the people of Pine Island were up to that day.
Yeah, they're cast netting
So
mullet.
having the fish fries. They're having fish fry again, and they throw the mullet.
Having sex with their cousins.
Don't
Sorry,
take this
Steve.
line. Yeah. Our friend Steve is going
he's
to be
the
opening a
mayor of
restaurant.
Pine Island. Is he?
He's going to be opening a restaurant. Did you
You
not see?
mentioned that.
Yeah.
I just seen that Aaron was posted something about, she was in like a bulldozer or a,
Yeah. I
some
don't
sort
have a
of
name.
heavy
I don't
equipment.
have an address. I know it's in Matlacha. I know it's going to be casual dining, and I know it's got waterfront. That is all I know. But as soon as we know a name and more information, we'll absolutely help him put it out. But once again, the one of our friends that we never would have put money on to be, successful when he was 16 years old, he's kicking ass nowadays. So he's doing a great job.
Yes, he is. He's got that dude does too many things.
No, as I said, he's not afraid. At the end of the day, he is not afraid to fail, and that is why he does so well.
Yes, he's got no fear. I'm the opposite of him.
Oh, me too. Me too. I won't even buy like lottery tickets. I'm like, no, I'm not going to lose that dollar. That's my dollar.
Yeah, I don't really. Every once in a while, when I go to for whatever reason, the Walmart gas station in Port Charlotte, once every 2 years I go there, for whatever reason I'll buy like $20 worth of lotto and $20 worth of Powerball.
Because you wait for the jackpot to get to be $1 billion, and you think it's your turn.
No, I don't wait till the jackpot's a certain amount, because my thing is the 10 million to 100 million doesn't matter to me.
That's true. You're still unlimited spending.
Yeah. As long as I have enough money to quit my job.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, I said you're going to be quitting it sooner or later because of age and just the way you've been saving anyway. So it's coming for you, buddy. You're going to be just fine.
Yeah, or we're all trading goats, one of the two.
Yeah, and we're going to be older and grayer, and we're still going to be doing this, except we're going to have a lot of money that we're not going to spend. It'd be a very terrible podcast, 2031. And you're still going to be sitting there with that thing still on the table.
What thing?
Your laptop is still going to be on the table. It's not going to move. It'll be spider webs on it.
Still humming away.
Exactly. All right, Dave. I've got to go get myself a drink, and our list has got done. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to add before we go?
No.
No?
The only other thing I had on there was the UFC fight, but we can cover that on the next one.
Yeah, we'll do that on the next one. Maybe we'll have a 4th of July special, because that'll be next weekend, America's 250th birthday, and whatever comes along with that. Hide your dogs, because there's fireworks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us for over an hour. I'm Jason.
And I'm David.
And it's been another very terrible podcast.